Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the conversation on TOS Television Network. It's Monday. Yes, it's morning here in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. I hope you are set for the week. You're highly prepared for this week. My name is Adesu Ausui.
And I am merciful Ajinomo. Good morning. Good morning,
Good
Adeswa.
morning, Master.
Yes, I'm prepared for the week. I don't know about you.
Oh, you look prepared for the week. So yeah.
Really? Okay. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How
was
are
the
you?
weekend and
Oh,
everything?
yeah, splendid weekend actually.
Yeah, you look splendid actually.
Thank you so much.
Good.
Okay, guys, before we start the show proper, we'll be bringing you the quote of the day. So that's the Monday morning motivation for you right there. The question is the question is not who isn't going to stop you, right? Who isn't going to let you, who is going to stop you, basically. So, I mean, you're not worried about the door getting into the door. So basically, it's just you.
Yeah.
It's just everything is dependent
So
on
the
you.
thing is you that will stop yourself, or it's you that will let yourself.
Exactly.
So if you can tell yourself that, does anyone have the power to stop me? Then it is. But if you're telling yourself, look, no one can stop me, whatever I'm doing, I have the vision is written down, and I'm walking towards a particular goal, and no one can stop me but myself. Then I walk towards it. I don't become a distraction to myself, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, but from my end, I think I'm seeing it as you're not worried about anyone giving you opportunities, whether opportunities are coming or not. You're not worried about all of that.
But you're worried about who's going to stop it.
Yeah, so you're like, I'm not stopping. Whatever happens, no matter the circumstances, I'm not even worried or faced by it. I know what I'm getting at. I know what I want, and I'm going to get it. I don't care where the obstacles are. I think that's how I see that one.
Yeah.
Okay, moving straight into development across Africa. So, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has leveraged on the report by budget, which points to loopholes in the 2021 budget. SERAP therefore called on the executive arm of government to investigate ministries, departments, as well as members of the National Assembly who are suspected to have slot in 39.5 billion naira for 316 duplicated projects in the 2021 budget. While making the request on Sunday, in a statement by its Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadari, the group indicated that anyone responsible, after enough evidence, should face prosecution and stolen funds should be recovered. TOS News had earlier reported, as published by Budget, that there are 316 duplicated capital projects worth 39.5 billion naira in the 2021 budget. I mean, I think when that report, I think it was sometime last week when that report came out, and then we were told that there are multiple duplicated projects that amounts to over 30 billion naira in the 2021 budget.
And we're asking about transparency and accountability.
Exactly.
I remember.
And I'm like, how did that even get into the budget? So that it's the issue of corruption has eaten deep into the system. It's not just a Nigerian thing, like in an African system. It has eaten deep, and I think if we can confront and curb corruption in Africa, we would have gone halfway, solved half of our problems.
Yeah, we would have gone 10,000 miles forward.
Yes.
Trust me.
Exactly.
I'm talking about press freedom. The World Media Freedom Index of 2021 report compiled by Reporters Without Borders reveals that Africa has seen significant improvement with press freedom. Most of the 2021 index biggest gains are in Africa. Burundi up by 13 points at 147th position, with Sierra Leone up by 10 points at 75th position, and Mali up by 9 points at 99th position are the countries on the continent with the biggest gains. This is as a result of the release of 4 journalists with the independent Burundian media, the repeal of a law criminalizing press offenses in Sierra Leone, and a fall in the number of abuses in Mali. Although there was less deterioration in Africa's abuses score, the RSF says it continues to be most violent continent for journalists, which the COVID-19 pandemic fueled.
That's quite sad, actually. I was hoping that I would see Nigeria on that list.
Yeah.
But we're not. But I hope we'll get there. It's like,
Definitely.
I do hope that we get there where, we can have freedom of the press. I think, like our guest said the other day, we're actually, we're there's an improvement.
Yeah, there's an improvement. We're a step closer
to it, but there's still so much to be done.
There's
still a lot to be done. Yes. Okay, talking about Nigeria and then passport issuance resumption, on immigration issues, the Minister of Interior Rahul Faregbeshola has disclosed that the Nigeria Immigration Service is working to ensure that all outstanding passport applications are issued on the 31st of May. This is coming after several months of delay in the issuance of passports as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The minister noted that from the 1st of June, passports will be issued within 6 weeks in the country. However, the minister said the Nigerian government had launched an electronic temporary passport to reduce the stress of obtaining passports for Nigerians. Aregbeshola made this known in an online inaugural quarterly lecture series of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission titled Mobilizing Nigerians in the Diaspora for National Development.
I think it's a good news for those who are expecting their passports, who have done all of the applications before now registration. So
it can be really rigorous, the passport issuance process.
I'm telling you. All right, moving over to South Sudan, where the president has dissolved parliament. South Sudan's president, Salva Kiir, has dissolved parliament, opening the way for lawmakers from opposing sides of the country's civil war to be appointed under a 2018 peace accord. Kiir's decision was announced on public television Saturday evening, but no date was given as to when the new parliament will begin working. The setting up of a new legislative body was part of an accord signed in September 2018 between Kiir and Vice President Riek Machar for years on opposition side during the 5-year civil war that left 380,000 people dead and 4 million displaced. Activists and civil society groups welcomed the dissolution of parliament, saying it was long overdue, but also expressing distrust. It says it is a welcome development, and we hope that the dissolution will not also open the way to a lengthy process towards reconstituting the parliament. James David Kolok, chairman of the South Sudan Civil Society Forum, that's what he says right there.
Yeah, I mean, aside the worry of this James guy, I think it's one way to broker peace in the country. I mean, having this side and this side who have been at loggerheads for the longest time come together and say, look, we're going to come together to maybe rule the country, or you make laws that govern the country to just favor both sides. And I think that's one way, to
some sort of balance and everything.
Just create balance. Okay, that's it for development across Africa. On the conversation this morning, we'll bring you COVID-19 updates from across Africa right about now. Yes, that was COVID-19 updates from across Africa as gathered by Africa Center for Disease Control. That's Africa CDC. And I think, as is my custom, as always, I keep telling you that you should take the necessary precautions. Do your best so that you and the next person, can be safe from COVID-19. We do not want to hear a second wave or a third wave of COVID-19 or hear about new strains and all of that. So get vaccinated if your country, your state has started rolling out vaccines. And if not, just register and wait for the vaccine. But in the interim, just protect yourself, proper hygiene, and do all that is needed to ensure that you protect yourself and the next person from COVID-19. Because COVID-19 is real. I know there are lots of people who do not believe that still, or who still, feel like it's no longer existent. But COVID-19 is real and it's still existent, and a lot of countries are hit by the third wave, which is very deadly. So we don't want to have to experience that in Nigeria or in Africa. So please do your part so that we can be safe. Okay, all right, we move straight. We're going to go on a break now. We'll come back into the newspaper headlines for this morning.
TV Network mobile app is now available. You can now catch up on our breaking news, stream our programs live, watch out for the latest update on sports and politics as they unfold. You can also get notifications for our upcoming programs and events. All these on our TOS TV Network mobile app, available on Apple Store and Google Play Store. TOS TV News from Africa by Africans.
Being a journalist means in-depth analysis, that unravels hidden truths, that question the status quo and fact-checks government.
These criminal elements hiding under the cloak of surveillance contractors are the APC elements.
Do you have facts to prove that? Being a journalist means waking up every day with a burning desire for peace, equity, and justice for all citizens.
We're being told that the choice you have is to take the lesser of two evils.
It means patriotism via the prism of objectivity and accountability. It means giving my platform to the masses to discuss issues that matter to them.
Some of them, if they bring budget, and the budget they look. Some of them sleep. They're going to ask how much you are on. I have it.
Thereby shaping government policies and laws. My name is Osasu Igbenegbu, and I am the People's Journalist.
You're welcome back to The Conversation, showing on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. It's that time where I tell you to look so you do not miss out on our amazing content. Be a part of our social media community at TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And of course, follow us on YouTube and subscribe if you have not done so already. You can also live stream the program live on our website, www.tostvnetwork.com. It's that time I will bring you some of the headlines from across the national dailies for this morning. And we'll begin with the Blueprint newspaper from the very top. Over 3 trillion naira unremitted fund with MDAs. That's coming from the Senate. And just underneath that, we see SERAP 6 probe of 39.5 billion naira phony project. And we can get that story on page 17 of the Blueprint newspaper. Underneath that story, we see 28 perish in Niger boat mishap. And we can get that on page 7. Just besides that, e-payment transactions declined to 23.19 trillion naira April. That can be found on page 29. The very conspicuous headline here is, let's engage foreign partners to tackle Boko Haram. That's coming from an ex-military chief. We have a couple of writers underneath the story. The first says, seized weapons from troops have strengthened insurgents. And once toll gates returned, manned with scanners to discover small arms, suggest engagement of NSCDC personnel as forest border guards. And on the last rider, troops arrest 13 suspects in Kano, gunmen kill 13 in Kaduna, Katsina State. And all of this can be found on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper. Underneath the picture of the day, 24 states donate 2,000 hectares of land for federal government social housing. And the rider says 17 states interested in solar power, Niger. We can get that on page 5 of the Blueprint newspaper. NDLEA burst online drug trafficking cartel, arrest 5 in Abuja. That's in the Federal Capital Territory city right here. We can get the details of that on page 13. Besides that, President Buhari to mark Modest Eid al-Fitr at State House. We know it's this week. We can get the details of that on page 5. Besides that story, analyst once caught in spending overhead cost rises to 3.1 trillion naira. Of course, that can be found on page 24. And the last headline for the Blueprint newspaper this morning is mixed fortune as stocks lose 415.9 billion naira, oil price tops 2%. Stocks lose 415.9 billion naira and oil price tops 2%. And we can get that on page 24.
All right, away from the Blueprint newspaper to the Nigerian News Direct. The first headline there says MDAs yet to remit over 3 trillion naira. That's coming from the Senate, and you can find that on page 17. And then beside that one, millionaires emerge in UBA savings promo as 10 customers win 1 million naira each. That is on page 2. Southeast boils, gunmen strike in Abia, truckload of live bullets arrested in Onitsha. That is on page 3. And then to the main headline on the Nigerian News Direct this morning, 3 months debt service gulps $1 billion. That's coming from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. And you can find that story on page 2. Prostitution. Ogun police rescue 22 underage girls from brothel. Arrest 10 male suspects. That story is on page 29. Syrup writes Buhari 6 probe of 39.5 billion naira duplicated and mysterious project. You can find that one on page 30. Defense reporting, Nimasa Army collaborate on training. That's on page 31. And then the last headline on the Nigerian News Direct this morning says, NAFDAC sensitizes micro, small, medium-scale entrepreneurs on product registration and value addition. That story is on page 3 of the Nigerian News Direct.
We move over to the Daily Trust newspaper from the very top, talking about the 2023 election. INEC targeting 120 million voters. That's coming from the REC. And we can get the details of that on page 39. Just besides that, bandits kill 11, injure 3 in Katsina village. We can get that on page 4. And then the very conspicuous headline talking about Boko Haram. Army raids home, arrest 13 suspects in Kano. A couple of riders on in the story. The first, troops launch manhunts for IPOB members in Olu. Another police station attacked in Abia State. Buhari warns against attacks on security formations. And Daura, Bauchi emirs, cancel Salah Dubar. That can be found on page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper. On the picture of the day where we see women celebrating and everything. 30 killed, 7 missing in Niger boat mishap. And a couple of riders other headlines on in that story. The first, cyclist protest killings of members in Abuja. COVID-19, healthcare pharmaceuticals get 84 billion naira from CBN. And then the last is cholera outbreak, 15 dead, 40 hospitalized in Kano State.
That's sad. And the next headline or next newspaper I'm going to be looking at is the Daily Times. And the first headline there says, that's an Eid. Buhari bans visits from religious leaders and politicians. Caution youth against violence. That story is continued on page 4 of the Daily Times. The main headline on the Daily Times today says, Nigeria makes strides in COVID-19 battle. You can read up that story on page 2 of the Daily Times. And thus, underneath the picture of the day on insecurity, gunmen kill 5 policemen, raise station in Akwa Ibom. That story is continued on page 5. Probe, Serap urges Buhari to probe NDA's 39 billion naira duplicated mysterious project. That's on page 3. And then the last headline on the Daily Times newspaper this morning says, on asset owners, NAT CAC to name real owners of oil, gas, mining assets. You can read that story on page 5 of the Daily Times.
And to the very last newspaper here daily for this morning on the newspaper review segment of the show is the Business Day. From the very top is the market, the Business Day market, where you can monitor everything happening on the business front. And the very obvious headline there is Nigeria's record low interest rate and end as bond yields rise by most in 12 years. That's Nigeria's record low interest rates and as bond yields rise by most in 12 years. See what Nigerian banks charge you for borrowing. To get details of that, you can grab a copy of the Business Day newspaper. And inside the Business Day, mining sector holds opportunities for investors across Nigeria, and that can be found on page 30 of the Business Day newspaper.
All right, that's it for, the newspaper headlines, front page of the newspaper on the conversation this morning. We'll go on a break. When we come back, I'll be taking you through social media trends for this morning. Welcome back. It's about that time where I bring you what is trending on social media, or what has been trending on social media in the last 24 hours. But before we get into all of the razzmatazz, you know that you can be part of the conversation. Just simply follow TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also so you don't miss out on the lineup of amazing content that we have for you. So just subscribe to TOS TV Network on YouTube. You can also stream our programs on www.tostvnetwork.com. All right, moving back into what's trending on social media. So today I'll be bringing you two social media trends. Yes, two hashtags that made it to the top of the trend table today in the last 24 hours. And the first one is the focus is on Baba Adeboye. That's hashtag Baba Adeboye. That's the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. He lost his son, one of his sons, I think sometime last week, and condolences have been rolling in and all of that. So Sunday Adeyemo, that's Sunday Igboho, that's what everybody know him as, has mocked, Pastor Adeboye of the Redeemed Christian Church of God over the sudden death of his son, Pastor Dari Adeboye. Now, the activist, Yoruba activist, who has been clamoring, for the Yoruba nation, the creation of a Yoruba nation, has said he would not, sympathize or grace, Pastor Adeboye because the clergyman is not in support of the Yoruba nation. So I have a video to that regard for you. I'm just going to show you that video, and then afterwards I'll take a few tweets.
Ṣé bàbá ti support Yorùbá nation táwọn akí wọn wọ́n máa support bàbá rọrùn àṣẹ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì lórí tá à ń ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn kọ́ là ń ṣe àti pásítọ̀ ni àti àwọn àlùfáà wa gan jíṣẹ́ fún wa a nílẹ̀ àti káwọn bàbá Adébóyè kí n tẹ̀mí pẹ̀lú àwọn yìí bàbá Adébóyè sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá ẹ wo iye èrò tí ń bẹ ní ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì bàbá Adébóyè ṣé wọ́n kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ fún wọn pé kí mo bọ́ lọ́jọ́ Yorùbá nation a nílẹ̀ àti kí wọn Ọlọ́run ọba tó bá ṣe tẹ́ fúnra rẹ̀ ní ọmọ béèrè lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ọ̀tá Yorùbá pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run gbogbo ẹni tí ń bí ní Yorùbá tó ní Yorùbá ò ní délẹ̀ lérí wọ Ọlọ́run bó ṣe ń pọmọ wọn ní kọ́ ọmọ pàyàwó kọ́ ọmọ pàgbó fámìlì wọn gbogbo anybody tó bá ní Yorùbá tí ọba ti support Yorùbá ní sẹ gbogbo àwọn tó lágbára lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àti pásítọ̀ ní gbogbo wọn tó bá ní agbára lọ́wọ́ tó wọ́n sì lérò source tí wọ́n support Yorùbá ní sẹ wọ́n Ọlọ́run ó pè ọ́ wọ́n lọ́ba tó ní mí tó ní gbogbo nǹkan lọ́dọ̀ wọ́n lọ́dẹ̀ dá wa ọ̀dẹ̀ dá wa fún ìyàjẹ́ gbogbo àwọn àgbàlagbà tí ń bẹ lórí ilẹ̀ tí wọ́n rí tẹ̀rí bí àṣẹ jẹ wa tí wọ́n rí pé àwọn Fúlàní dí wa gbé wọ́n gba ransom wọ́n ń dà wá láàmú tí wọ́n support wa bó ṣe ń pọ̀ mọ́ ní kọ́ mọ́ pàyàwó wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó rí nígbà máa kí bàbá kan.
A dúpẹ́ fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire àníri jù báyìí lọ ní alẹ́.
Okay, having showed you the video, I'm going to read out a few tweets to that regard for you. And the first one is from @Niger_PR. The video of Sunday was saying he wouldn't send any condolence message to Baba Adeboye about the death of his son. Okay, so basically that's just showing you the video. And then this one is from @Omobalanle Adesuyi. She says, "This is so insensitive of Sunday Igboho. Is Baba Adeboye the cause of Nigeria's problems? Does he have to subscribe to your Yoruba nation drive? Whatever makes you feel that the Yoruba nation is the solution to all the hullabaloo the country is facing?" And then the last tweet is from @OS_Dabo. Sunday Igboho's stupidity was on a public show there. Insensitive statements, gullible accusations. Baba Adeboye should be preaching Oduduwa Republic on the altar. What nonsense. Saying he wouldn't send any condolence message or whatever. Such a display of foolishness and illiteracy. What do you think?
Yeah, I really do believe that we're talking about life here. Someone lost a son. So whatever happened, what their belief was, what their opinions were, the fact that you're a Nigerian and we are Nigerians, and this person is a person of prominence, and people are already, sending a condolence message across, it is not the right time to start talking about whatever you think you believe in. It's a different talk entirely. Talk about the Yoruba nation, it has been a trend and everything. But here, someone lost a life. So regardless of their belief, regardless of their religious position, you have to commiserate with the family first, right? That you cannot talk about that one later. So you coming to say, I think it's really it's unwise to come and say, look,
exactly.
I'm not going to tell you sorry for your loss or anything because you never ever for once believe. And why should he believe in it? I thought it's a different topic entirely.
Yes,
we're talking about one Nigeria unity, fighting everything as one. And people are still, I'm really sad to hear.
So I'm trying to get I'm trying to be in Sunday Igboho's mind now. I'm trying to, look at what he's thinking from. So he's expecting the clergyman
yes.
to go on the altar and support his drive for a Yoruba nation,
to be
a split
created.
of the country, because he is also a Yoruba man, because Baba Adeboye is Yoruba, obviously. And then so it's just because he's Yoruba and he's a person of prominence, so he should go and tell his congregation that, look, you guys should support the drive for Yoruba nation. Let's split this country. And this young man is doing something really good. And then so just, you know, pack the crowd and dash them to you. I'm wondering if that's what's on his mind right now. I mean, somebody lost a child.
That's very insensitive.
Very insensitive. Somebody lost a child, which is very, very sad. And nobody wants to lose a child, no matter what age. Nobody wants to lose a child. So somebody lost a child. The thing is, you commiserate with them. But if you don't want to,
then you just keep your mouth shut.
Yes.
That's
okay,
it.
you said, I'm not going to. Okay, so you have a personal beef with him. He doesn't support my cause, so I'm not going to, you know, commiserate with his loss. Fine. That is, no, it is how you feel. Nobody's going to take it away from you. Leave it like that. But you don't have to come out and say anything like, look, okay, so you lost a son. I'm not going to say sorry. Who says he was expecting anything from you anyway?
No one.
No one, right? He wasn't expecting you, in as much as, you know, condolence. I don't know how it makes people feel, if it makes you feel better, if it maybe eases the burden. I don't know how it makes you feel, it makes any person feel. But I don't think Baba Adeboye will be expecting a condolence message from him or anyone.
See the backlash he's receiving. Nigerians are replying him on his behalf, and they're saying,
but I think that's what he wants. I think, you know, they said no publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah.
Whether bad publicity or good publicity, publicity is publicity.
So he wants to trend and everything.
Yeah,
true.
So basically, that's where I say it from. I think that's what he's trying to do, just clout chasing and wants to trend. I mean, he made it to the top of the trend table. So the Yoruba nation is back to the fore. I think that is what his perspective is about. I don't think, I mean, anybody who's human would know it's the most insensitive time and insensitive thing to talk about somebody that actually lost a child. Come on.
Definitely. Very sad.
All right, guys. So I did say that I'll be bringing you 2 social media trends today, but what, you know, out of time, so I'll be taking the other one tomorrow. That's a wrap on what's trending on social media segment of the conversation this morning. We're going to break now, and when we come back, we'll be bringing you the big story.
A big thank you for staying tuned to the conversation, showing on your digital first Pan-African news network 2S television. Before I talk about the big story, don't forget, as my tradition, you should follow the social media platforms that we have for you at 2S TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our website www.tostvnetwork.com to watch and stream live our programs, and also subscribe to our YouTube if you have not already done so. It's the crux of the conversation, the big story. And President Muhammadu Buhari, the president of Nigeria, has enjoined Nigerians to fully participate in the ongoing synchronization of national identification number with SIM cards across the country. The president made a call when he inaugurated the national policy for the promotion of indigenous content in Nigerian telecom sector and revised national identity policy for SIM card registration in Abuja on Thursday. According to the president, the synchronization exercise will provide a digital framework for improving security and strengthening the economy. Joining us to discuss this on the show is Mr. Ben Abdul, a public affairs analyst here in the nation's capital city. You're welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. The pleasure is mine.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good, good. Okay, first of all, what is your reaction to the statement made by the president?
I think the statement is in line with our current political reality. The nation is obviously not in a state, is not, our general security architecture has been strained. There is need for new ideas on how to curtail the excesses from non-state actors that have challenged the very integrity of the state. In that regard, Nigeria has been thinking outside the box for some time now, but that has not proven to be effective in the context of the complexity of our challenges.
That's a security challenge.
Yeah, so it's hard time for Nigeria to think without the box. The NIN is a progressive step towards that, because for the first time, if there's one issue in Nigeria, it has been perennial in the discourse on insecurity in Nigeria, is our inability as a country to have a centralized database. For the first time, we are having a progressive step towards that. With NIN, we can have a real-time track of every individual, dead or alive, that is a Nigerian. For the first time, we can locate the source of every information, calls, messages, directly to an individual. Not like on before, like Hitoto, where you just walk up to a SIM spot and I want to buy an NTM SIM, you just register there, give falsified details and go. But this is, you have a digital footprint left behind you. And I think that's one of the benefits of the NIN. And I think the president's statement and the whole NIN thing is a progressive step. I think it is.
But are you saying that we couldn't achieve that with, the bank verification numbers, the voters registration, because it's the same biometric processes anyways?
Yeah.
Are you saying we couldn't have achieved that using all of those? It has to be the NIN.
You know the bank verification number, BVN, it's not legislated, it's not a law, it's a policy. But NIN is a law. That's where the difference lies.
Okay, so basically, if we could, curb insecurity, or if we tackle insecurity using the NIN, if that was possible, why are we still having, rising cases of insecurity in the country? Because I know quite a number of persons have registered the SIM cards, the NIN, and all of that stuff, but we still keep having mounting issues of insecurity. Why do we still have that?
Like I said earlier, the challenges we face are complex in nature. Before now, the approach has been unidimensional, and you can't approach a multidimensional problem as like insecurity using a unidimensional approach. Now there is need for new ideas. NIN is one, but we cannot expect the NIN to be the magic one that will solve all the problems of insecurity in Nigeria. At the core of security of any nation is human intelligence. There are still some unscrupulous individuals that will go outside their way to falsify or impersonate, like form SIMs that are already been used, stole someone's SIM, use that SIM for unscrupulous purposes, and at the end of the day, the person that have stole his or her phone will end up being at the ends of the law. So you see that no matter how you approach this problem, once there is no sincerity of purpose and there is no recognition that the problem that faces Nigerians today are caused by Nigerians, and if there is going to be a solution to the problem of Nigeria, it must definitely come from Nigerians. And who are Nigerians? It is me and you. And the part to play towards solving this whole issue, I think it's at the core of the solution to the problem of Nigeria and insecurity in Nigeria today.
Okay, so now how can we functionally, in practical steps, use the NIN and verification exercise as a tool to combat insecurity?
Like I said earlier, NIN has provided us a platform where we can track each individual, the calls, the SMS you make, and whatever you do with your mobile, because you have a code, a PIN attached to you. Be that as it may, that is not to say, like I said earlier, unscrupulous elements will not bypass it, because behind every invention, there are people that will always circumvent it. There are loopholes in every invention. But for NIN, I think we need to be patient with the process, because it's a process here. You can't expect to capture data of over 200 million people overnight. Doing that to be like you're trying to build a castle in the earth. So I don't think it's a step-by-step process. But for so long, we have been able to have a national database where we can track this individual by this individual, and beyond just the insecurity. We are talking about, we have a civil service where some people die, and over time, their gratuities and the pension are being eaten by someone else other than them. With this NIN now, we can track when someone is dead, we know when someone is dead, when someone is alive. So it gives us a comprehensive grasp of every Nigerian.
So in one word, do you think the NIN is some sort of game changer, in tackling?
It's a game changer, but it's not a magic wand.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So any concluding statements before we wrap up the show?
I think the problem of insecurity in Nigeria is this, like you said, we have been unscrupulous as Nigerians. Regardless, if you take 100,000 soldiers, put 100,000 soldiers on the streets, declare a state of emergency in every city and every state in Nigeria, as long as we are not partners collaborating to secure Nigeria, there is no way this issue of insecurity will end. We all need to partner with the security agencies, and the aspect where the individual Nigerian citizen comes in is the area of intelligence sharing. Because the so-called bandits, the guys killing our police officers over there in the east, they are individuals, they belong to a community. And if this community decide to keep mum and don't say a word about the movement of these troops and so on, we will keep on having this perennial issue in Nigeria of insecurity. At the end of the day, the problems, whether it's not directly affecting you today, does not mean it will not. The storm that blew Mr. Okafor's house is the same storm that will blow Mr. Musa's house tomorrow. So there is need for us to bring our head together and understand that we have only one Nigeria. If Nigeria explodes today, Nigeria cannot contain us because Nigeria basically depends on Nigeria. Ghana is too small to contain us. So is Benin Republic and the rest. We need to bring our head together and understand that this is where we call our home. Without Nigeria, there is no us. That's it.
So you're not in support of, marginalization, the Yoruba nation, the IPOB, and all
those are just emergency movements. Those are just emergency movements. And the truth is, the president's outlook has not been accommodating. Nigeria is a federal state. To rule Nigeria, you must have a federal mentality. Federal mentality in your approach to governance and your body language. When you make some people feel that this is a government for my ethnic group, by my ethnic group, it makes them it makes them this sense of otherness. I think we'll do better if there's a Yoruba nation. I think we'll do better if there's an Igbo nation. But the truth is, if you want to break Nigeria, it's as complex as creating, more complicated than even the creation of Nigeria. Because the man in Jos, I'm not sure if he wants to become that same Arewa he was in 1960. The man in Jos who want to go according to the Christian line, so is the man in Taraba, so is the man in Benue State. So breaking Nigeria is going to be far more complex than the creation of Nigeria itself. Because the factors that necessitated the creation of Nigeria will not be the same factors that will necessitate or influence the breakup of Nigeria.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Ben Abdul. We need to work together as one. Thank you for joining us on the show.
The pleasure is mine always.
It's been a big pleasure, really. All right, thank you, viewers, for staying tuned to the show. Don't forget, you can also be a part of the conversation. You can drop your ideas, your opinions on our website, and also on our social media. Just go to TOS TV Network on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and drop your ideas there. We look forward to hearing from you. You can also live stream this program on our website, www.tostvnetwork.com. And don't forget to subscribe if you have not already done so. I am Merciful Ajinomo.
And my name is Adesuwa. Thank you for watching.